Hello and welcome to the ADJ DED headquarters. My name is Edgar Bernal, East Coast Regional Sales Manager for ADJ, and today we wanted to show you 6 of our hottest, newest, and most current products that we have to offer that we think will create a lot of excitement for your festivities. Now, whether it's for a haunted house, bar, restaurant, or even for mobile entertainers, all of these have something very, very special to offer to you. So we're gonna go over each one independently to show you what they can do and cover some of the basic features, because here at ADJ, we wanted to share because we care how you scare. So let's get started. All right, so here we have one of our really cool, probably most popular for atmospheric type of effects. This is called our Mr. Cool 2. Now, one of the things you're gonna notice that makes this effect very nice is that the fog that just shot out is not rising any higher than, I would say, about my head level, where you imagine when you put this on the ground, this is how you're gonna be able to achieve that very popular effect that you see in most horror films of that nice low-lying fog effect. This is a unit that is very popular amongst a lot of our mobile entertainers to get this similar effect, and I'm gonna tell you how you get it done. As you can see here, it's a very portable and compact machine, and all it takes is regular ice, right out of your refrigerator, or at a local liquor store you can get ice, and our Cool Fog, which is our water-based fog fluid. So it's not oil-based, so nothing around, especially if you have decorations, those really cool decorations. An oil-based fluid is not this, so it's not gonna damage those. Now, as far as the machine itself, it only takes about 30 seconds to warm up, and once you're ready to go, there's a handy little remote here which measures about 10, 12 feet, so you could be a nice distance. But what's really neat about it, if you didn't want to be around the machine to keep, hitting the fog at every time, there is a timer option. So you can, set it to your certain timer where it has a duration and an interval setting, so you can kind of set and forget. Now, after 30 seconds, once this machine is ready to go, you're talking about 3,000 cubic feet per minute that this will cover. And even after its first shot, once this reheats, it only takes about 30 seconds to reheat once again and be ready for another 30 seconds of that nice low-lying fog action. And again, very common, just regular ice, our Cool Fog, which we always keep in stock, so you can always find your local retailer that'll help you get that juice when you need it, and just a handy little remote. And once you're done with the machine, as you know, ice melts, but there's a nice reservoir on the back, so you could just drain the machine of that excess liquid and be good to go. So that's the Mr. Cool, and let me just hold the button here. This is the manual effect, so you can see what's gonna happen. And as you can see there, just right here on the edge of the table is that low line effect. And again, the fog is staying nice and level to my kind of eye level. Imagine this on the ground, and imagine this in your haunted house or wherever you're using this. And right now I'm just holding down the button. You can see how much effect you're getting. I'm probably disappearing, which makes it great for this video. Let's go on to the next product. All right, so here we go to our next atmospheric product. This is our ENTOUR Chill. Now, the Mr. Cool 2 before is probably our best for entry level and for smaller applications, as that one does 3,000 cubic feet per minute. But from there, we jumped up to our ENTOUR Ice, which is more of our road-ready kind of low-lying fog solution machine. But now we have the perfect middle piece in our ENTOUR Chill, where this unit here, we bumped up the heater to an 800-watt heater. So what that means is it's producing a little bit more heat to give you more effect and ultimately more coverage. So with this unit, you're looking at about 7,000 cubic feet per minute. But what does that mean? It means that it's just gonna produce a lot of very, very nice low-lying fog for that special effect that you're looking for. Now, as far as what the unit can handle, you're looking at 2.5 kilograms of ice, and that's regular ice that you get out of your refrigerator. You could put right into the tank here. And as far as the tank for your juice, this is using the Cool Fog again, but now you have 1 liter capacity, so that means less trips to fill up your machine of Cool Fog. Because the reason that's important is with this unit, Takes about 3 minutes to warm up. From there, you are good to go because this actually has a very sophisticated electronic thermal system built in, and what that does is it stays hot, it keeps it hot, and it's always ready to go. And also, that increases the amount of low-lying fog for your effect. You can get up to 1 hour out of this machine. Now, just keep in mind, just filling it with ice, filling it with juice. You can either use your remote that's included with this. What I like is that it's a little bit of a lengthier cable with this remote, so that means you can be a little bit further away to create, more of that effect without having to be so close to your unit. But we took a step further by adding DMX to this as well. So if you already have DMX for your lighting, you can tie this into your DMX line and take control of your effect at any given moment from your DMX console or from your DMX software. So again, that's the ENTOUR Chill, low lying, just very, very cool effect. And right here, again, we just filled it up with some ice. We got the cool fog. And one thing, while I'll just stay silent a little bit, a very quiet fan. So for that low lying effect that you want to have hidden away, this machine is going to solve that for you at a very affordable price, and this is available now. So let's go on to the next product. Okay, our next atmospheric now is for, I would say, that peak hour in, let's say, the night or your event, or if you just really want to scare somebody. The Fog Fury Jet Pro. First of all, this is a big brother to another unit that we have. It's called the Fog Fury Jet. With that machine, you have red, green, blue, and amber LEDs. But what we did with the Pro version is now we boosted up the number of LEDs to 28. So you have 28 3-watt LEDs that consist of these colors. You have red, you have green, you have blue, and you have amber. And what we did, and the reason we wanted to put this into this video, is we added UV. So now you can have an ultraviolet shot of smoke. Now with this machine, it is a 1500 watt machine. So that means it's drawing that much juice to create just that really awesome fog effect. And also with this, you get a 2.5 liter tank. So you can put a lot of juice in this machine. And as far as the juices go that you can use, we have our regular fog fluid, which is our premium fog fluid. It's a water-based fluid you could put in there. And what'll happen is you'll have more of that lingering effect with fog. But what we also did is we created a quick dissipating fog fluid, and that's the one that we have loaded into our Fog Fury Jet Pro right now. And what that means is it's going to give you that blast, and the fog is going to disappear much quicker. So in case you had people coming through and you didn't really want them to know that there was going to be a fog effect that was going to happen, this effect is going to disappear quickly because of that quick dissipating fluid. Now, as far as the blast goes, this machine, I said 1500 watts, this is going to give you a blast of approximately 40 feet. And what's great about that is the Fog Fury Jet Pro can be mounted in 3 different ways. It could be on the floor, on the ground, just on its base, like the way you see here. But the tank can also be inverted to the bottom of the unit. So if you wanted fog shooting straight down, you could do that also. There's a bracket on the bottom, so you could hang it onto a pipe or truss, whatever you have your lights hung on. This can hang just the same with the standard clamp. And what's great about it too is it also can shoot straight out at your crowd. Whether you give it a 45-degree angle or just straight at the audience, you can do that as well. Now, as far as the uses with this, there is DMX control. So you have 3-pin DMX in and out, so you could tie this into your DMX chain. There's also a wireless remote, which I personally like because the range on this is very good. You got a little antenna on here, so if you needed to increase that length, you could. But there's also wireless DMX. So you'll see here, it's got our Wi-Fi DMX technology, which is ADJ'S protocol for wireless DMX, and it's extended range. So as long as you're giving this line of sight for your DMX, let's say EXR battery, that's what we call our little transceiver, you're gonna get about 2,500 feet line of sight with that wireless DMX, so quite a distance. Now, as far as the remote here, what's really cool, and I'm pretty sure you'll see this in the B-roll, is you have 4 buttons that are already loaded. So you can preset to, let's say, just the UV or a full-on or a strobing blast. You know what, let's do it. So I'm gonna push the first button on here, and there you can see all of the lights turned on, the fog just hit, just very, very exciting. And that blast, I mean, will just definitely wow your audience. And as far as the electronic thermal system that's built in, not only are you gonna be able to blast for about 30 seconds, but you're gonna be ready to go in under 90 seconds as well. So in all, it takes 10 minutes to warm up. From there, you're good to go. You can do blast for as long as 30 seconds, wait another 90 seconds. Let's say another crowd is coming through, and I could do another blast just like that. So that is our Fog Fury Jett Pro. All right, next, let's talk about some ultraviolet effects. This is our Eco UV Bar IR. Now, with our Eco UV Bar, we call it a plus. What we did is we had an original form of this that was using 1 watt UV LEDs. Now, with, let me try to get it right, Eco UV Bar Plus IR, you have 18 3-watt UV LEDs. Now what's UV? That's ultraviolet. That's that nice effect when you have anything that's glowing or UV reactant. There's so many different ways to get that very cool UV effect. I'm pretty sure some of you have been to places such as Sky Zones or Cosmic Bowling where everything looks like it's glowing. That's because of ultraviolet. And with this unit, very, very easy to place just about anywhere where you need ultraviolet because as you can see here, it's very compact in size. It's 1 meter in length, but as you can see here, it's very, very compact. And you could put this in any corner of any building, but especially on sets where you needed the UV effect because with this, you're getting a very wide spread of UV. And what that means is 120 degrees, if you could just put that into perspective, that's how much coverage you're getting out of one of these, and just very easy to use. The IR in the name is because this is also compatible with our infrared remotes. We have an iOS device app that you can use called ADJ IR, and you could just download the app, plug in a little adapter into your phone, and treat it as a remote control to turn this on and off. But for people like me, I like to just set it and forget it and let it do its thing. And with that, you have a power switch on the back. Just give it some power. You have 2 brackets on the back too, in case you wanted to hang this off of any truss or piping. You could just get a couple clamps and you're good to go. Now with this is the Eco UV Bar Plus IR. We also have another product that is very similar, same size, same power, but that is our DMX form. So that's the Eco UV Bar DMX, in case you wanted to take some control of strobing or dimming of your UV effect. Now, before I jump into the next product, I just wanted to talk about UV and the way those are rated. It's nanometers. If you're not familiar with that, I'll try to explain it as best as I can. This one here is at a 400, or close to 400 nanometer reading. And what that means is you're actually getting a lot more purple light. So this is great for applications where, number 1, you needed the UV effect, but maybe number 2, if your area is a little bit too dark and you still need some ambient light, this is gonna give you enough foot candles or ambient light to where people will still be able to see where they're going or maneuvering around. But for something that has almost non-visible UV light, let's go on to the next product. Okay, so here we have our ENCOR Burst UV IP. Now this is a very special unit because this is built into an IP65 housing. And if you're familiar with that, especially if you're in areas where there's a lot of rain or dust, if you're out in the deserts, those elements can be very damaging to your lighting fixtures. Well, in an IP65 housing, you are protected against those elements. This is a very rugged built UV effect. Now with our ENCOR Burst UV IP, it's powered by a 50-watt ultraviolet light source. This is LED, so no need to worry about any lamps, but also you're getting 50 degrees of coverage. And if you remember earlier, I was talking about lights or even the UV effect with the nanometers, what's visible, non-visible. This is gonna be your ultra kind of concealed version of a UV light. This is something you would see if you were going on a ride in a theme park or especially at haunted houses where all you see is just UV popping but really no light around you. That's because this unit here is at a 365 nanometer reading. So again, when you're closer to 400, you're getting a lot more visible light. But this guy here at 365, I would say for its cost, it is probably one of the best LED UV solutions with that 365 nanometer reading. And with that, anything that's UV reactant is gonna pop on this. You can get UV reactant paint, there's costumes. I mean, you can really get creative. And just by plugging one of these in, it's almost silent when you plug it in, and you're just gonna see everything pop. With this, it's using True 1, which we call for the power locking in and out. And that is a weather protected power connection. And you have 5-pin for DMX in and out, but kind of like how you see it here, I have it just set and forget, as most UV effects are used. But again, IP65 housing, so protected against many, many elements, and 50 watts, 50 degrees, just total awesomeness out of our ENCOR Burst UV IP. So now let's look at a strobe light. All right, and on to our last fixture. This is the JOLT 300. Now, this is our solution for a very compact, powerful, affordable LED strobe. So that's right, no more lamps to worry about. With the JOLT 300, this is consisting of 288 half-watt LEDs, which have, as you follow with me here, you have 1, 2, and 3 top banks and bottom banks of red, green, and blue LEDs. And in the center, you have 1, 2, and 3 again of cool white strobes or cool white flashes out of the JOLT 300. Now, what's really neat about that is if you were to do a full-on, turn everything at full intensity, the colors are actually gonna blend, so you're gonna get that blast out of that strobe that you wanted with a very, very quick strobe rate. This is gonna definitely solve your answer for strobes. And with that, you do have some very nice eye candy effects. Just to give you an idea, right now we're only running this unit at less than 10% just because it's so powerful. And this will definitely get that eye attention to the crowd or eye candy effects that you wanted. But one thing about the JOLT 300, it's not limited to just a strobe. This can be used as a wash light. This can be used as, just anything where you needed a lot of color to stay on fully. Now, if you know, with most strobe lights, you can never leave them full on. If you strobe them, there's usually a duty cycle that you gotta worry about. But now with the JOLT 300, with its LED form, you can leave this full on at a color and create that nice wash effect that you wanted. And of course, with dim control, you could dim down that intensity if you needed to. Now, as far as the base that it's on, you do have a bracket which is included, and you could place a clamp onto that, or you can remove the bracket, and what that'll do is free up some space, and with an included bracket on the back, you can create a nice line of your JOLT 300s. And for linking, it's very easy. You have your power lock, so you can go in and out from one unit to the other, as well as DMX. So you can go 3 or 5-pin, both connections are on the back, in and out, and you can include this into your DMX line. So again, the JOLT 300 offering a great solution for anybody that's looking for a very powerful LED strobe. Okay, so there you have it, our rundown of what we thought would be great additions for your Halloween festivities. We got you covered here at ADJ, from atmospherics to UV, as well as strobing, LED pretty much all the way here, and water-based fluids. So you're covered as far as safety and just ease of use. Now, of course, for more information on these products, you can always log on to our website, adj.com. That's where we list all specifications, including weights, dimensions, power draw, all of those important facts that you would need to know when setting up. So again, thank you guys very much for watching, and happy Halloween.